I have no idea how to be normal when
How
we
to
have
start.
to do 10 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
Or we're just like casually, let's just casually come in and talk about this, you know?
Okay, I feel kind of bad because we do have a lot of background noise today. Hopefully it's not crazy.
Yeah, just live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suck it up.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
one day we'll get to a place where we can afford to build a room that is completely soundproof.
God.
Girl, that would be such a dream.
That would be amazing. Can you imagine like BFF getting sponsored and then having our own room so that we can just record and then you don't hear any white noise in the background? That would be a dream.
Honestly, how much work do we actually have to put in order to get to that place? Girl, that sounds like real like studio type of room where like people are just like,
it is.
All right, you go in there, you close you can't hear anything unless you talk into a mic.
Exactly.
One day.
Episode 100, you know? You know what I mean?
But that's very ambitious. Girl, we're already at 30.
Yeah,
almost.
we're at
I mean, so
3 years.
Okay,
like, it
girl
takes a
over
long
here,
time.
it's like by episode 100, we're gonna have our own private studio space.
That's like
that's amazing.
3 years of okay. Say like we did. This has been a year in the making. So then in 3 years, we would have about 100 episodes. I would.
I mean, if you think about it in that regard, it does seem like it's possible.
Yeah, and then by that time we have our dedicated recording space. We've got sponsors. We got this whole thing going. You gotta shoot for the stars.
Sponsors,
you know,
sponsors. I mean,
Sponsor us.
hey, just putting it out there. You know, you're welcome.
I love it.
Okay, so today, before we get started, okay, by the way, I'm Ann Duskus of Studio Duskus. Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
This is the best performer BFF podcast. This is my studio mate.
It's me, Vic. Hello, everybody. From Sailor Vic, of course. It's like so rusty. We're like, let's just try to make this as natural as possible. And of course, it's like the most forced intro ever.
We're like,
but
wait, we have to check the boxes. Wait,
Yeah.
we have not introed ourselves. We have not said who we are. We have not talked about what this podcast is about.
Yeah, and that's the reason, because I'm like freaking out a little bit. Okay, wait. So this episode is gonna be a little bit of everything, almost like a wrap of like the last year and like how well do we know each other situation, right?
Ooh,
It's gonna be a little bit of everything. I'm like mad looking up questions right now because
Okay,
I'm like,
wait,
what's a juicy
Vicky,
one?
are we recording right now? Because usually you have a remote.
Yeah, I did. I
Okay,
pressed
okay.
it. Yeah,
Okay,
we are.
okay.
See,
So I'm just
look,
like-
she's on
Okay,
top of
just
things.
wanna make sure.
Literally checking.
Yeah.
Did you click record? Wait, let me just go and check quickly. I'll cut this part out.
No, it's fine. Like this is like we've been doing it for almost 30 episodes, and every time we're still like, wait, did we record the audio? Did we record the video?
See?
Yeah.
Look at you holding down the ship.
No, I am not. I'm just like, wait,
I'm back.
did we do this? Okay, no,
Yeah.
we didn't. Okay.
Perfect.
So
This is the beginning of this episode. It's literally like chaos. Girls, you're giving us chaos energy.
girl, okay, but we're gonna get it together.
Yeah.
Can I just first, real quick, give a shout out to my friends and my friends' podcast, Drum with Mike and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my friend's podcast where they talk about drum and their life that's centered around drum. So like the mental challenges, the physical challenges, and what it's like to run a business. Anyways, I listen to them super actively, and what we're about to do is actually inspired by them. So I want to give them a shout out. And actually, like, to be honest, Vicky, like, I get a lot of like our podcasting ideas or topics or even like, you know, some ideas that sort of like bleeds into what we do from listening to other people's podcasts. And so
And it's so strange. I think that we see a lot of similarities between Mike and Eddie. Because even though they're in drums, they're like in a field that's completely different.
Professional drummers.
But like
Yep.
they're kind of like us, you know? They're like
Yep.
kind of our doppelgangers but like we do kind of sneakers and content and stuff, and they do drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But there's a lot of parallels, and so I'm like always very inspired by them. But anyways, and so what they, in one of their episodes recently, they did one because their wife basically was like challenging them. It's like, well, you guys are best friends, but like, are you guys really best friends? Like how well do you guys really know each other?
Yeah.
And then, so it got me thinking, I was like, you and I know each other really well, but like, do we really know each other?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that will be a very interesting, fun exercise for us to do before we get into our topic today.
Yeah. And then after one time we've got to have an episode where we have our partners and we like verse our partners. Like, do I know Ann better than your partner does?
Ooh.
You know?
Ooh. We're going to have to
do
come
that.
up with some juicy questions.
Yeah. Okay. I can't wait. I'm like, do I really know her? I think I know her, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to start testing me first and then I'll go after?
Okay.
Okay. You go first.
Okay. I'm going to start off with an easy one.
Okay.
What is my favorite pizza topping?
Oh, crap. Is that an easy one?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Your favorite pizza topping. Oh my gosh, I should know this.
It's so funny when I'm coming up with these questions. I'm like, maybe I should think about if she asked me the same question, because I don't know if I would know how to answer it.
I swear we talked about this the other day too. I want to say mushrooms.
No.
Wait, hold on.
I'll give you one more chance.
Okay.
And then after that, we're just not going to be friends anymore.
Your favorite topping. How do I not know this? Wait a minute. We like talk about pizza all the time. Wait.
We literally.
Once you tell me, I'll be like, oh,
yeah.
duh,
Yeah.
Anna.
Yeah.
Wait, is it olives?
No.
Shit. Oh my God. Vicky. I'm so embarrassed. Wait, what is it?
You should be cheese. Does that count?
Cheese is not a topping.
Cheese
We have
is a
not talked about
topping.
this.
Cheese is a
Excuse me.
topping.
Cheese is by default part of the pizza.
Wait,
Okay,
but like, what
leave
about
it in the comment, people. Like, is cheese a topping or
you
not?
need to settle this debate, because, like, what about like a margarita pizza? What toppings does it have on it? Spice? Like what?
Margarita doesn't have anything. It's just sauce and
it has cheese.
Cheese is not a topping. Guys,
Cheese is
leave
so
it in
a
the
topping.
comment. Ann is
Cheese
like,
is
cheese
so
is not
a
a topping.
topping.
Vicky's like, cheese is a topping. Oh my gosh. As soon as we get off of this podcast
need to put a
recording,
poll up.
we need to put a poll up on stories because
Okay.
okay, girl.
We're like screaming already.
All right.
First question. Okay, your turn.
I
Your
am
turn.
dead. Wait, no, let's go through
Oh,
one
we're gonna
person's
do-
and then yeah.
Okay,
yeah, and then
you're
we'll do
doing
it
all
together,
of
so
mine.
there's
Okay.
no confusion. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What is one thing in the studio that I could not live without?
The mirror.
Maybe. That's like one of my favorite things in the studio.
Okay, so
But-
like something that you actually use to work with.
Anything, like something. Okay, so the inspiration for this question is literally because Ann, no matter the circumstance, no matter who she's talking to, will pull out her cuticle oil pencil. And she literally, before we started recording, was like, oh crap, I don't have my cuticle oil, because she can't access it right now. So literally, like, this was the question I was talking about.
Oh.
For you, it would be cuticle oil.
Okay. Oh, I feel like this is such a trick question because
I don't even know if I have an answer to it. I just want to know what your answer is.
What is something you can't live without in the studio? Your lamp, your lighting.
Oh yeah, I can't do any work without it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big one. Yeah.
But that wasn't what you're thinking.
No, I'm not thinking anything. I'm just like,
Okay.
tell me something, and I'll be like,
Girl, you have to have an
Yes.
answer. Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
I'm just like, no, I have your answer. I don't have my answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me one thing that you think I'm addicted to right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Oh,
Like, what am I obsessed with, or like
what
something
are you
that
obsessed with right now? I wouldn't say plant because you're always obsessed with plants.
or just could be a general obsession. Doesn't have to be right now.
I don't know if you are obsessed with Sour Patch Kids because that's just kind of
That's an
always
obsession.
there.
That counts.
Does
That
that
counts.
count?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Okay, then I'm
Okay.
gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay. Sour Patch Kids, listen. Parent company. Who's the
Listen,
parent company?
we've been waiting. Mondelez.
Mondelez, please hook a girl up
yeah.
right here. She is your gal. If
Yeah.
you want to do any campaigns, like, please.
You're in Toronto. I'm
Reach
from
out to her.
Toronto. You know, this is just a
Fuzzy
plug,
Peach,
plug
okay?
episode.
Just saying.
Ooh,
Okay, girl.
I like myself. Fuzzy Peach. Fuzzy Peach custom coming soon.
Ooh, you heard it here
2023.
first. Okay.
Okay. Ooh, let's see. How long do you think I would survive in a forest alone?
Wait. No, Vicky, that is not a fair question because you don't even know how long you will survive in the forest alone.
That might be true. Or I might have tried it before,
It needs
and
to
so
be
then I
fact-based.
would know.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, like with like a small group of people, how long would I last?
Like, are you into cannibalism?
Oh, we're thinking like
Because you would last
term.
longer.
We would
okay?
last long
Like,
term. Oh
yeah,
my god.
yeah.
Wait, can I ask you a question? If you had to, would you be a cannibal?
Listen, here's the thing. Of course, off the top of my head, I'm like, no, I wouldn't. But then, honestly, when push comes to shove, if
You're a
I'm
survivor.
in survivor,
You're a
like
survivor.
instinct, like I might. I really, if I'm being honest, I just might.
I like the honesty. Honestly,
know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And honestly, it's gonna be one of those cases where like my husband's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I really want you to eat me to survive."
Yeah.
Because
And you would like, babe,
Yeah.
gladly.
I'm like, to honor you, I will.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Okay, let's move on.
I'm gonna chop this out and put it into a reel so that we can share this
my
with
God.
your husband.
Hilarious.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
This is amazing. Okay.
What are we doing?
Next question. What is something I spend too much money on that you don't understand? Like you don't get? Like why?
But Vicky, I understand everything that you spend your money on.
I know, but is there a thing that like this is not like a get to know me. This is kind of like an expose me question.
Okay, we clearly got like
It's
like
all
once we get
questions.
into my
Yeah.
questions, you'll be like, oh, we're playing a different game.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't get inspiration.
Oh
She was just like,
my
okay, we're
God.
gonna ask some like how well do you know me questions. I'm literally like
Yeah.
Googling like
Okay.
200 questions of like how well does your partner, spouse,
Oh my
friend
gosh.
know
Okay.
me?
I mean, the first thing that came to mind is makeup.
Yeah.
But then like
But you get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's part of your job.
Yeah.
So like I don't know.
So
if
something I
there's any-
splurge on. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. Okay, you know me.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
All right. Tell me what like the number one complaint I have about Instagram when we talk shit.
Oh. Your number one complaint about Instagram. I mean there's a lot. I mean,
There's a lot. Name one.
People who doesn't follow you, but just like randomly is like, hey, how do you do this?
Yes. That is one. Okay, good.
Okay,
good.
great. I got it. Got it.
You got it. Let's see. What else do I have? What's something that will make me happy no matter how bad of a mood I'm in?
Mabel.
Oh, it's true.
Also, y'all don't know this. Mabel is my dog.
Mabel is Ann's dog. Mabel is like the sweetest little like donut muffin of a
she's the
dog
cutest.
ever. Yeah, she can make anybody. I literally tell you that she absorbs bad energy and like gives off just like happiness.
I'm being super biased right now, but
Yeah.
like, what were you thinking?
That's your answer. That's literally your answer.
for you. Like,
Yeah, but for me, I don't know. Like ice cream.
Oh, ice cream is a good one.
Ice
I
cream.
should have said that one.
Yeah.
Actually, that's more relevant to
Yeah.
you. Like, I'm sure a
Yeah.
lot of your followers are like, and of course it's ice cream.
Yeah.
Duh. Okay, maybe we'll go one more.
Okay, one more. What do I do in my free time? If I have free time.
Birding.
Birding is a
ding,
good
ding,
one.
ding, ding.
Yay! There we
Yeah,
go.
okay.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. That's
okay,
a good.
so
That's a
like,
good amount.
generally speaking, what do we think? Do I know you?
You know me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's your test.
But you're like, yeah, wait. Would I be a cannibal if I had to survive in the
What do you- would you?
forest? I'm asking you. How well do you know me?
I feel like you would too.
We're like
We're
psychopaths.
survivors.
We're survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I would. If I had to. If like it was the last resort. It was the last absolute thing that I could possibly do. I'd probably learn how to hunt first, but scavenge and
Right.
hunt.
But if you're stuck in a cave and you can't go anywhere, and then there's only dead people around. Okay, what
Yeah.
are we talking about? Let's move on with our lives. All right. Okay, so this is your test to see how well you know
Oh no.
me.
And these questions are gonna be
All right,
different from my
I'm
questions.
gonna start with the easy one.
Okay.
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 What's
I'm
my
gonna
morning
ace this.
drink?
Shit.
Also, this episode is already explicit because I said shit once and you just said shit another time.
Like twice.
Okay.
Um
We're going in.
what?
It's an easy
Like
one.
a
Easy one.
like a pour over coffee.
Yeah. And how do I like my coffee?
Black.
Great.
Americano.
ding, ding.
Oh,
Okay.
I should have asked you. What's my coffee
Oh,
drink?
I'm not an Americano though.
You're not an Americano?
No.
You're a pour over.
Yeah. Americano is an espresso
Right.
drink.
Black
Yeah.
pour over.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Great. Okay. What's my favorite color? This is a really hard one, you guys. Like, this is a really hard one.
Your favorite color?
Ever talked about?
Yeah, we have. Your favorite color is. I already know that. This is your favorite color.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. First
I'm
off,
ready.
Anne's gonna say I don't actually have a favorite color. If you look in my closet, I have all the colors in the world, and like you wouldn't be able to tell.
Factual
what my favorite
information.
color is. Yeah, like she literally. I've heard her say this so many times. But
I'm
I
having
think
such
your
a good time.
favorite color is like that indigo blue.
Ding, ding, ding!
Yes!
Oh my God, you're
Killing
nailing
it.
this! Oh my
Killing
gosh,
it.
I was like, is she gonna get
Yours
this
are
one?
easy.
You know, it's not navy, it's not
Yeah.
blue, it's like indigo.
Indigo.
Girl, all
There
right.
you
I mean, we should just stop
go.
right here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so proud
Yeah.
of
Ooh.
you. Okay.
Just screaming in this episode. Cover your ears.
need to, like, toe
keep
down the
playing
audio. Oh
keep
my
playing the
God.
audio though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's my biggest pet peeve? Generally
Oh.
speaking, what's my biggest pet peeve?
Like punctuality.
Yes!
Tardiness.
Oh,
Oh,
girl.
look at that.
Girl, you're nailing this.
3
test.
for
You are
3.
nailing this.
Okay,
test. Yes.
okay.
Like, I cannot stand people who are not on
See,
time.
I actually listen. I'm like,
okay.
what if she asks me a question where she tells me all the time and then I just don't listen because I'm zoning
No,
out.
she listens. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah.
Okay. What's my favorite country to visit?
Shoot. Oh no, this one's gonna stump me.
I mean, give it a second. I feel like you know this one. I mean, I talk about it all the time.
Your favorite country?
Maybe I don't talk about it all the time.
To
but when I
visit.
talk about it, I'm hyped about it.
I want to say Japan.
Yes, it's Japan.
Is it Japan?
Yeah,
Okay,
let me
okay.
stop you right there.
Because I'm like, did she say something about Europe? Is there something in Europe? Japan.
Japan.
Okay.
Is my favorite. I will go there again and again and again.
Okay.
Love everything about Japan.
I have not gone once, so you gotta take me.
Okay, I'm gonna take you, girl.
Just saying.
Girl trip. Girl trip. Okay.
Yes.
What do I claim to be the fountain of youth?
Happiness.
Never
What
talked
is
about
the
that.
answer?
But-
Hold on. Fountain
Okay.
of youth.
What? That's
Cuticle
what I claim.
oil.
No, that's fountain of youth for my cuticles.
For your cuticles.
Okay, last chance. When I say, you're gonna be like, of course, Anne. We talked about those.
Exercise.
Close. Yoga.
Yoga.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Great. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna get into some like nitty gritties. Okay.
I got you. I'm ready.
What kind of diet am I on?
You are a vegetarian like 90% of the time, 95 maybe. And then every now and then you will have meat, but you do not eat seafood.
Got it. Nailed
Okay,
it.
nitty gritty.
I know.
Let me just factor in everything that I know.
Yes. Amazing. Okay. This one might be. This one will stump you.
Okay.
But I think we might have talked about it recently. Who is my style icon?
Oh,
And it almost came up earlier. And I was like, oh no, can't talk about it because it's one of my questions.
Edna Mode.
Oh my gosh, she is a good one though. I freaking love her.
I'm like, who?
Who like I absolutely adore and I just like love her style. And it's like she is me. Like I am her. Like I want to be her all the time. But I am not as wealthy as her. So I don't have all the cute clothes.
This one stumps me.
Okay, should I tell you?
Yeah, tell me this one.
Jenna Lyons.
Jenna Lyons. I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Okay, so that's a tough one.
Okay.
That's a very like okay, like I'm not mad that you don't know
Yeah,
that one
okay.
because most people don't.
Yeah. I'm just bad
So-
at names too, because I'm like, I feel like you don't talk about her that much.
I don't talk about her that much, but she's amazing. So she was the amazing creative director for Women and brought J. Crew back from like death to its height of like
I do
its
remember
like
you saying something
fashion and like just like very cool. And she just has a really cool personal style that I absolutely adore. Like, she's all about blazers and kind of like androgynous and menswear inspired, but then she'll like pair it with the high heels. I mean, she's like, I love her style. Like,
Love
I am
it.
her.
Okay.
would
Gonna
love
have to
be her.
Google. Everybody's
Love
like
her.
Googling.
Yes, she has an amazing style.
Yeah.
Okay. What is my dream car? This is a hard one too. This is a really hard one too.
Oh my God.
Okay, wait, actually, before we get into that one, maybe this is a good lead-in. What style of cars do I like?
Damn it. I don't know. Like anything in Fast and Furious that like.
If there's a genre, can you put a name on it? Like, what kind of style of cars do I like?
I want to say American muscle cars, but like.
Okay, ding, 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 ding,
Is
ding,
it?
ding. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
great.
I also like. I'm like. I don't. Do I see you driving one?
That's because I don't have one yet, girl. Okay, so then
Okay,
that's the lead
so
in
you
to
would.
the question,
Okay.
what's my dream car?
Okay.
I don't think we talked about this.
I
Or
don't
maybe
think-
it very vaguely has came up in random conversations, but we've never
Yeah.
talked about it in depth.
The only car that I like have grasped onto that you talked about, and I know it's not your dream car anymore, or you don't even want it anymore, is like the Rivian.
Yeah,
like an
that's like a
electric,
modern car,
like,
but it's not
right.
American muscle.
But it's not, which is why I'm like,
Yeah. Okay.
I have no idea. Tell me.
It's a stumper.
Okay.
Okay. It's a 69 Camaro.
Oh.
That is my dream car.
Oh.
Anybody out there trying to let go of one, looking for a project car?
Okay,
maybe
hit
in 3
my
years.
girl
Okay.
up.
I can't afford to start any project right
Yeah.
now besides my own business project.
Okay.
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 What's my favorite movie franchise?
Oh, Fast and Furious.
Okay, done.
Can
okay.
can I literally tell them the story?
Yes, please tell them
Okay.
the story. Oh my gosh.
This is like irrelevant to anything we ever talk about, but
Yeah.
like last Friday I went out to dinner and it was like this like super intimate restaurant and it was like Filipino Japanese fusion food.
it's like 8 seats in the house.
Exactly. 8 seats in the house, 8 people, 2 people were late. Don't like them. Anyways, the dinner was starting and like there are 2 chefs, right? So there's like the chef and his like sous chef, who's the Japanese one, and the chef himself was Filipino. And they were doing like an introduction. They kind of like talked throughout the meal.
Yeah.
It's like, what was this dish inspired by, et cetera, et cetera. So before they started, the female hostess was like, we don't have friends. We only have family. Anybody in the house that can name the movie that's from, $20 to you. And I'm like sitting there. I'm not normally somebody who is like, I know the
Yeah,
answer. Like
yeah.
not that keen. But I was listening to it. And I'm like, we don't have friends. We only have family. That sounds a lot like Fast and Furious. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, literally, my girl Ann is obsessed with Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
And she goes, like, her face was so surprised. She's like, how did you know? Like, we've been in operation for 4 years. Nobody has ever gotten that reference. And literally,
I don't know what kind of people are going to your restaurant.
right. And I'm like,
They've been living under a rock.
right. And we're like, we stand the fact that you quoted Fast and Furious. So obviously I won. And then I like quickly finished my meal. The second I stepped outside the restaurant, I called Ann up and I was like, girl, guess what happened? I make you so proud. Like like you'll be so proud of me.
Okay. They said 2 quotes. It was that one, and then what was the second one they said?
What else did they say? No, I can't remember anymore.
Because you called me, and then you started telling me, but without telling me that it was a Fast and Furious thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
When you said that, I was like, right away, I was like, Fast and Furious in my head,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, why is she quoting Fast and Furious? And then they shared another quote, and then so it's
What
like
was the other
from
quote?
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But then because then they gave another hint after the first one because
Oh,
nobody
right.
said it.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
I can't remember
But,
what it was. But
yeah.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, that's totally something like Dom would say, right?
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, I was very proud of myself. It
Yes.
was like the first time I like I didn't even raise my hand. I kind of just like very,
Yeah.
nervously went, that sounds a lot
Dominic
like.
Toretto.
Yeah. So,
Okay, last question
okay.
is which Fast and Furious is my favorite so far?
Oh, shit. Like which one?
Yeah. Do you know this? Have we talked about this?
We've talked about it, but like,
Girl.
yo, I've
Girl.
lost track. The fourth one.
No.
That's a wild guess. I have
Yeah.
no idea. The first one.
Fast 5.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. That's on me. Yeah. I think you've said Fast 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Brazil, baby.
this is Brazil.
Yes.
Can't do it.
I can't do it either.
Moose does it all the time, and literally
Yes.
out of nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
He did it the other day when you were telling me the story.
It's going to be very embarrassing that he's going to listen to this.
Yeah. Holy moly. So that actually took way longer than I thought.
Right.
But I feel like our topic today is going to like last for that. Okay, let's just get going. See what happens.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you for getting to know us.
Let's dial it back in.
So I would say that you know me pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think you know me pretty well, except for the pizza topping. You know, we're not on the same
Cannot
page.
believe- No, cheese is not a topping, people. Let's get this straight. Like,
Okay, put it in the comments. This is very important.
This is so important. We need to know.
Yeah.
I can't wait to put up a
hilarious.
poll. Okay, anyway, so our topic today is what?
What have we learned from social media in 2022, and how much of that knowledge or what from that knowledge would you bring into the new year and in 2023?
Oh man, there's so much to dissect there. Maybe I'll start off with the easy one. What did I learn from social media in 2022? Ooh, I feel like this is such like a broken record. Like we talked about this so many times. It's like the number, whether or not it's your followers or your how many likes you get on a post, or like how many DMs you get, how many people viewed your story.
You're like,
I feel like 2022 has been sort of learning how to read between the numbers for me. And I know
like
that
that.
sounds really abstract. And it's really interesting because I was listening to this podcast the other day, and it was by three of my like favorite like leaders who train other leaders to become better leaders, and one of them is Brene Brown, and she was talking about how she doesn't believe in the construct of followers. And I was like, what does that even mean? And then she continued to talk about how like your followers are not like, she doesn't view she has a shit ton of followers, you know, across like all platforms. But she doesn't view them as followers.
Right.
She view them as team members. And I was like, oh, I really like that. And then she continued to explain that like the reason why they're team members is because I think in her head, which also like I share that sentiment, where like I am here trying to build a community, and I'm not like, to me, like as like the more she talks about it, the more I'm realizing that followers could be just somebody who might not have a mind of their own, but are just kind of following somebody blindly, versus like somebody who's a team member is actively choosing to be a part of something, and maybe they have something to contribute, versus like maybe a follower might not have something to contribute. And then that's how you make a community bigger and better, because there's a lot of like interaction and engagement and all that good stuff. Anyways, going off on a total tangent, but what I want to say is like that in association with sort of this numbers game, and how to read between the numbers has been a really big learning experience for me in 2022. And then this is also the year where like I finally broke 10K, and so I have enough like audience to where, or team members, you know, I like to call them that now, to where like I feel like there is a sense of responsibility, you know. And so I don't know, I'm still kind of working through that, and I need to think about like how I can't not allow that to define me going into the new year, because part of me is worried that it might get the best of me.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's the that's the toxicity of social media, right?
Yeah.
When you let your numbers take control, or when you let what you think your audience wants to see control the type of content that you're making, and in a sense lose yourself in
Yeah.
that, you know? So yeah, I really like the way that I think what at the end of the day, it's like viewing people on the internet as still people. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's who I want to interact with. I want to interact with human beings. I don't want to interact with, trolls or people who have a disregard for just a sense of respect, for everybody else online. So I think like with followers, with people who, support me and who comment on comments and things like that, like I recognize that each one of those people who are leaving comments is a person. And that's like really important in grounding me. And at the end of the day, I'm always just like, no, doesn't matter how many followers or how popular you think you are. At the end of the day, even if you're a famous person, you're just a person. And if you treat people that way, I feel like you get more genuine relationships out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I learned. So 2022 for me on social media is a very interesting year because in terms of numbers, I've been quite stable this year. I don't think I had like a huge jump, nor do I think I really focused on that huge jump. And I have learned that for one of the things that I've learned is like when you're working on a project, you may have your own agenda. And a lot of times after you, like, let's say we plan out 6 posts or 3 posts that like line up, sometimes like that's what your thought process is at the beginning of a campaign. And then you post like 2 of them and they're doing okay. But then do you get this feeling where you're like, I think people are tired of seeing what I've posted already? You always get that like, I've already posted so much. Like nobody wants to see what I do. How can I put out a 6 post on my grid if I'm already tired
project
of the same project,
okay.
but like different parts of the video, different ways of presenting it, different, maybe like a work in progress shot, maybe like a final, my lights are turning on and off in the studio. But maybe like, different views of the same project, but it's not like you've shown people anything yet.
Yeah.
And I had that hurdle a little bit throughout this entire time, not only in 2022. And I realized that to a point, sometimes you just have to put it out there. Like not to focus on the numbers of like an individual post because that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It's the whole campaign that you do that matters, And it's like if you're treating your social media and your profile like feed as your portfolio, then that is ultimately more important than you thinking that people are going to be tired of your shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's such a good point. That's such a good thing to touch on because I feel like, you and I on and off talk about this. Mm-hmm. And we'll put out something that we're like, because we are analyzing the numbers and the type of engagement that it's getting, and it's not sort of up to par or expectation, mm-hmm. that we start to second guess that like, okay, maybe this is not a great post, and we start to feel self-conscious about it. Mm-hmm. And then also like you and I always talk about how can you have like such little engagement when you have an X amount of following? Like proportionally, it doesn't make sense. Right. And I think that's where that self-consciousness like sets in, because then you're like, oh my gosh, people probably think I have fake followers. Why I buy followers? Because like it doesn't make sense, Yeah. And so,
or like that post is just like your content's just bad,
Right. And I think it's a wonderful thing to have that sort of awareness, mm-hmm. with your own content, because again, like we all experience that like self-doubt and like second guessing whether or not this is like a good idea, and it's not easy to not allow that to dictate what we do next, mm-hmm. which sucks, mm-hmm. because like we already have plans for the next 4, 5, 6 posts that follows this post.
Yeah.
And if this post is telling us something, then maybe the following ones are not a good idea.
Right.
And that's when we start to get into trouble, I think, mm-hmm. Because now we're sort of allowing others to tell us what to do. Mm-hmm. and this is where we start to lose ourselves in the process. There's this digital content creator. Her name is Karen Chain. Karen Chain. She's based in the Bay Area.
I think I know her.
Yeah, she's has like millions of followers. She's amazing. But she did this like talk recently at Adobe for their creators, and I like listened on a part of it, and I was like, oh, like this resonates with me so much. Like, thank you so much for saying this. And so she, even for somebody like her who has like millions of followers, who has super interesting content, she also goes through these like days where she's like, I thought this was such a good idea. Why isn't anybody engaging? Why isn't there any feedback? Or whatever. And then, because she blew up so fast, she went through this period where she was like very depressed because she was like trying to be somebody. She was trying to continue to be that somebody that went viral.
Right.
And then how do I recreate that? And if I can't recreate that, like I suck.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before. Like, how do you create viral content? How do you replicate viral content? You don't. Like, you just have to keep pushing it, and you just might get lucky, right? And so she went through this period where she was like, it was really dark for her, and she was just didn't know what to do. And then I forgot what she said, but like that helped her like get through it. But then at some point she realized like her strategy needs to change in order for her to continue to be satisfied with her work that she's sharing with the world. And then so she came up with this like technique, which I'm totally adopting now myself, is, in order to not lose yourself as a person or as an artist in the process of sharing your work, because again, like you and I talk about this all the time, where like we know we cannot please everyone.
Yeah.
And the people who like our content will like our content, and those are the people who we are creating the content for. And so for her, she's like, okay, so when I create content, I might have something where I'm like, I don't know if anybody's gonna like this. And then she'll have something that's like, I know this is going to blow up. Like, people are going to, like, eat this up, right?
Right.
So she has, like, she basically, like, has content that she places into these two buckets. Like, things she knows people will love, things she's unsure that people will love, and she's not sure if she should post it.
Right.
But then her strategy is basically, like, okay, when I post content, I'm going to post one for them. I'm going to post one for me.
Myself.
And, like... And the one for them, that's like, I'll analyze those numbers. I'll like look at those engagement, and then I'll accept that, like, I know this is like a viral content type of like material.
Right.
And I'll study those like numbers to help me like recreate this type of content.
Yeah.
But then the one that I post from me, I'm not even going to look at the number at all, because I wanted to post this. This is important for me. It is not for anybody else.
Right.
And so I'm not going to even allow myself to let those numbers get to me, even if the engagement is low and doesn't get any likes, because I wanted to post it.
I love that.
And I was like, that is so perfect.
Yeah. And I think that's like a mental visualization that will keep you sane.
Yeah.
If nothing, right? Like you could be very technical in analyzing those things, but also just to be able to like mentally convince yourself that that's the case, that you're serving yourself, but you're also serving your community.
Yeah.
That I feel like almost like hearing that put me at peace a little bit more, because I'm like, this stuff stresses me out. I'm not going to lie. And like being like, just hearing that I think is like such a good piece of advice, because then you can rationalize like doing things that maybe you weren't so excited about, but is going to grow your channel, your platform. And then for the things that you really enjoy doing but don't get anybody engaging in it, don't get likes, that's not for anybody else, that's for you. So it really doesn't matter. It's like removing that feeling, that attachment to your content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like you and I are really good about the fact that like, okay, we understand our market, or we have a good grasp on it. Yeah. That like we know our niche.
Right.
And we create our content to cater to that niche. But then like honestly, sometimes, Vicky, like I don't want to post about shoe content. Like I want to post about like maybe I made something else that's not shoes. Maybe I baked something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still working with my hands, but like it's not shoe related, and I'm like, nobody's gonna want to see this content, so I don't post it.
Right.
But then if I'm really being true to myself as a person and as an artist, like, then why does it matter? You know? And so I think
Like, that's all still your own brand because your brand is you.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so so that's definitely something I've started practicing. And
Amazing.
I will definitely be taking with me
Yeah.
throughout 2023.
And I want to touch on that point where you said, like, you know, like, about making viral content, you know, and it's how, like, you don't just make viral content. Why did it shut off?
It happened before too, but it keeps going, I think.
That's very weird.
Yeah, our camera just went
Oh,
bleep.
battery. One second.
Oh,
One second.
ooh,
1 second.
1 sec. Please hold. I'm gonna give you the play by play. So so we have listeners. If you're not watching, we have this camera set up in front of us while we record the audio version of this podcast. So we actually have a visual content for this episode. Well, for all of our episodes.
Okay.
And so Vicky has always been very generous in setting up our camera for us. So I can't even wrap my head around like what she needs to do. But anyways,
Battery
just
ran out.
needed
Just
to
gotta
replace the
swap
battery.
the battery.
So here we are. Okay.
Thank you for the play-by-play. Yeah. So what I was saying, creating viral content. I think, you know, you're saying like you don't create viral content. You don't chase it. You know.
Yeah.
You just got to keep creating what you want to create. And I want to say to that, Ann and I know that it's easy to emulate viral content. I sent you that thing the other day where it was like, you know, and this is no shade to anybody in particular, but I sent you a video where somebody did, like, it was a task that was like so simple and almost like not impressive at all.
Yeah.
You know, it was literally like laying down a stencil that I could have freehanded, you know?
Yeah.
Spraying it and then
It
showing,
wasn't even
and then
like
a
layers
review.
of stencil. It was just like one tape up and then
Right.
peel back, done.
Right, like
That
two
was
shapes.
the
It was
whole
like
content.
it might
Yeah.
might as well have been two squares side by side, and then, you know, a stencil laid down, sprayed, and then pulled off. And then it didn't go viral, but it got like a decent amount of likes. And I'm like, Ann, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we just, and there's like another account out there where they only just do like one paint stroke, and that's the effing video.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, why do we sit here literally like in turmoil trying to create unique content, trying to create high quality content when that's the stuff that goes viral? You know? And that's the stuff that, you know, this account has like millions of followers. And like you look at their final product and it's like, sorry, but it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And so like it kind of like seeing those things makes me realize, and this is something I learned this year, is that I don't really care about trends. I don't care about what goes viral. And at the end of the day, it's like not that I don't want likes, not that I don't want followers, but I don't care for that to dictate my direction in 2023.
Yeah.
Right? And like we were recently talking about, I was telling you about a strategy that I might try in 2023, a different way of recording. Like I'm trying to spice things up, you know, or I'm trying to experiment and do something different.
That you haven't done before.
That I haven't
So
done
you
personally.
don't know.
Me personally,
Right.
I haven't done before. And I told Ann, and it's like, you know, I support you. Like that's totally, you know, what we do. That's what we do. And I've talked to a lot of other people about it too, and they're like, yeah, but like that hasn't seen much success. You know, nobody's really done that. I'm like, well, exactly. If nobody's done it, then
There's
I want to do it.
opportunities.
If people
Yeah.
have done it, like Rit dying and stuff like that, I don't want to
Ooh,
do it.
girl.
That's a shady one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't want to do it, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like, unless I have a way to make it my own,
Yeah.
then, you know, there's almost no point in us doing it. Like I tell you all the time, Ann, you could colorway to your like heart's desire and you can pump out like 200 pairs of shoes in a year, but do you want to do that? You know, and same to everybody else. Like, I could paint, I don't know, like I could have continued painting Disney for all I cared, you know, and I can do that nonstop, and I would have orders nonstop. Like I get DMs all the time. Hey, can you do this? Can you do this? no, because that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of how I'm viewing how I want to cater my content that I learned from this year going into next year.
Yeah. I think that's a really good one. Yeah, I feel like we have so much to say about this, but then suddenly we're like, wait, what else is there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else top of mind?
Into social media, is there something like, are you thinking right now, that 2023 is gonna look very different from 2022 for you, or do you think it's gonna like you're going down the right path, and so you know, what's your just gist of?
I'm kind of like with you in the sense that like weirdly enough, just like, okay, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Because I think what was different for me this year, like in 2022 in comparison to 2021, is that I'm definitely doing more reels, so more video content. And
Yep.
then I started.
I love it. And literally yesterday went downstairs, filmed something,
Oh my
came up and posted it. I was like, girl, you didn't even pre-film. You didn't even take time to like edit it. You just posted it. Like that's
mean,
a
I
huge
kinda
pat on the
edited it.
back, you know?
But-
no, you did, but like in real time, in like right now, you know, within the hour.
Yeah.
And that's like unheard of for me, at least.
Okay, I got something based on that note. Is I feel like from 2021 to 2022, the difference for me that I've learned is don't overthink it.
Yep. That's really important.
And I think we talk about this all the time about how when you start to overthink, you think yourself out of doing something.
Yep.
And so I feel like, and granted, like I'm human too, and I am also like trying to run a public facing social media page. And I would be lying if I were to say like, things don't bother me, you know, like people don't tell me what to do online, you know, and like, that's a lie, you know, because we take everything into consideration. And sometimes I do wonder, it's like, oh, well, you know, again, like if I'm adopting that, like, okay, one for you, one for me, like, then it should help ease the, like, the overthinking a little bit. But it's like, yeah, I do wonder if it's like, should I post this? You know, like, this doesn't really make sense. Like, people are not going to like this. But then it's interesting because I feel like maybe you can attest to this too, Vicky. It's like, it's always the content that you don't overthink that gets the most engagement.
Totally. All the time. Yeah.
It's like the one that you take the least amount of time to, like, capture. The one that you take the least of time to, like, post-produce. And you're just like, F it, it's there. And it's like, bam, like, 50K views.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And it's like, why, you know?
Yeah. So I think for me, that is one thing I've definitely learned from 2022. That has made a difference for me, that I'm definitely going to be solidifying and just like putting a stake in the ground, like in 2023, is to like, don't overthink, just put it out there and like, do you, girl.
Yeah, I agree.
I know it's hard. And it's so easy to say that.
Easy to say, hard to do.
It's hard to do. Yeah.
And I think for me, it's like important. I want to make content that I would actually love to sit there and consume, because it's like what you're saying, you know, you see all of this content out there, and like, I'll go on TikTok, and granted, there are a lot of really entertaining things on TikTok, but there are also things that I'm just like, no, like, that's stupid for me, you know, like I wouldn't spend the time to watch it, and I wouldn't spend the time to make it. And so all of that for me is like noise. So being able to filter through that noise in 2023 is a direction that I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, this spicy episode.
Oh, girl. It get a little
Girl.
spicy. I mean, we kind of started off a little bit more lighthearted, but it kind of got into a little. I mean, I feel like we have so much more to say, but maybe we'll have to do a 2.0.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much for tuning in with us today. If you like this episode, please like, comment, subscribe. it really helps other people find this podcast.
Yes, and if you have a friend that you know is gonna enjoy this, pass it on to them. Share the love.
Also, drop it in the comments
Yes.
if cheese is a pizza topping.
Cheese
because
is a pizza
I
topping.
am saying nay, while this one over here is saying yay. So please,
you can have like goat cheese. You can have like
no,
different types of
girl.
cheese. You can have
But
like
basic cheese is basic
Parmesan,
cheese. Like it's not a topping.
all the like
right.
I don't know. I think it's a
help
topping.
us settle this debate.
And also those people out there who don't get cheese on their pizza.
Why would you have a dry pizza? It's just a red sauce pizza, or
lactose intolerance.
Also, I'm
you know?
not a fan of white sauce.
I'm not a fan of white sauce
Girl.
either. I'd rather no sauce than white sauce.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Yes. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.